Hey guys, and welcome to the channel. And today, this morning, Wolves ex-manager Nuno Espirito Santo has been officially unveiled just up the road in the East Midlands at the City Ground as the new head coach of Nottingham Forest. I'm joined by Wolfie from Forest Fan TV to see how the Forest fans are feeling. With the sacking of Steve Cooper and with the appointment of Nuno. Welcome, Wolfie. How are you feeling this morning?
Um, Relieved, mate. Relieved. It's been a whirlwind 24 hours. It feels like it was a sacking that's been coming for a couple of weeks. And you know what? It was a case of it just needed to get done. It needed to get done. We were in free fall and it just felt it to me personally, not the majority of the Forest fan base, I'd say, but change was needed. Um,
Well, we talked about that, didn't we, at pre-Forest, and you was kind
yeah.
of like the one saving grace as if Wolves beat Forest that see Cooper will get the sack, but we managed to keep him in post for another week, and you kind of like mixed feelings.
It was a
Uh,
weird one because, like, if we won, he was safe. Everyone knew that. And if we lost, he was gone. And then we drew, and everyone was there scratching their head. Well,
well,
what
what
does
does
this
that
mean?
mean? Well, yeah, I know. And so obviously we spoke yesterday because we heard rumblings about
Yeah.
Nuno being on the way to the City Ground, and then the announcement said that later on the day Cooper sacked. They don't sack Cooper um, without almost certainly Nuno being appointed. Obviously, then the rest of the world started to catch up. Romano tweeted about it, and then uh, first thing this morning, there's Nuno standing in front of the Forest logo. It's been announced. I bet it's been a bit of a whirlwind couple of days for you. What is the general feeling, though? I know you're kind of like, yeah, I think this is a positive thing that Cooper's gone. I do want to, because you kind of preferred Lopetegui initially, and we talked about that.
Yeah.
What's your feeling about Nuno's appointment? But what is the general consensus on the Forest fan base? Are they all happy, or is it split, divided? Where is the Forest fan base on that?
It's almost, you could say, it's close to mourning, in terms of the majority of the fan base. And I understand it. Look what Cooper did for us. I thought it was time for him to go, but that does not negate the fact that I respect what he did at Forest. You know, very similar. We've spoken about the pathway for Nuno with Wolves getting you promoted, seventh, etc. It's the same with Cooper to a harder extent, especially in the championship, because we were bottom. When he came in, if we'd avoided relegation, Dave, I'd have been happy because we looked doomed at that stage. But I always look forward. Once we got into the Premier League, the memory needs to be left as a happy memory of the promotion, and then you've got to start kind of judging what you see on the pitch. But yeah, but the majority of the fan base at the moment are very, very sad, including myself. Even though I felt it was time for him to go, it's still, the human side of it. You think a man's lost his job, he's lost that connection with the fan base that love him. It's sad, but I think the reception to Nuno has been very mixed at the moment. Even those who were Cooper out are saying right decision. Some are saying wrong choice in terms of Nuno. Some are saying Cooper out, Nuno out already, and he hasn't even kicked a ball. And for me, again, I think he fits the mold of what will work at Forest. But I think it's really harsh if anyone's judging him before he's kicked a ball. And the problem, I think Pep could have come in today, Dave, and people would still be doubting it because he's coming in off the back of Cooper. So I think once things have settled down, hopefully we can get off to a quick manager bounce win against Bournemouth this weekend. And I think that's going to be really important for Nuno, just to bring that temperature level down. Because if we do go and lose to Bournemouth, I do worry about how quick the reaction is going to be, from an emotional perspective from a lot of the fans.
Interesting. And some of the things that you said there are really, really familiar. Because
Mm,
when Nuno was sacked by Wolves, we were the same. But it kind of like we weren't getting relegated. It was just out the blue, really. There was no mumblings. It was like, and there was a period almost of that morning because of what he'd achieved at Wolves. And so we can completely associate with Cooper and what he's done with Forest. Probably the closest that you felt to a manager since Brian Clough, I would imagine. So they've got
Frank Clark as well. Frank Clark,
you've got that associate, and he kind of like, you've got a real connection with him. Let's just say, I don't think you'll ever lose that. He will ever lose the connection with Forest and the fans with him, the same as Wolves fans have still got that connection with Nuno. You know, we talked about on your thing in a lot more depth about the connection. But interestingly, you also mentioned about like the reaction to Nuno of him being appointed as manager is exactly the same reaction as Gary O'Neill being appointed as Wolves manager.
Yeah.
You know, there was the PE teacher thing and all that sort of stuff. He's not good enough. He doesn't know what he's doing. He had a difficult start. There was people calling for him to be sacked in the first 6 games. And then we beat City. He goes on Sky, does that now, and then the whole, it turns around. We've had a real good run, and then the last 3 or 4 games, it's not gone so well. And you know, it's funny how things can change. But like 2 of the things that you said there about mourning a Cooper and then the appointment of a new manager, exactly, we've been through that. And then it's up to Nuno really, to win over the fans. I do think. It's when you're coming in after a manager that has been so loved, it's difficult for anyone. We've talked about Alex Ferguson. We talked about people coming in after Nuno. We've talked about when, you know, Brian, you know, all of these, you know, it's difficult. You know, but like, do you think the Forest fans, when they've really had time to take stock, when they turn up, are you at home or away against Bournemouth at the weekend?
Home, and there's already a lot of talk about the home fans will be chanting Cooper's name. For me, I don't like that. I'll be honest with you. I'm probably going to upset a few, but I feel that Nuno's now the manager. We have to respect our manager. We have to give him a chance to, get his feet under the desk. And I just think I understand why they want to do it, but at the same time, I wonder how would that make Nuno feel? It's not his fault that Cooper got sacked. He's been offered an opportunity at, in my opinion, the best club in the world, and he's coming in with good endeavors. Of course he is, to do best. And I feel that we as a fan base straight away need to back whoever is in charge until they give you a reason not to, is kind of my philosophy.
100% right. And, I mean, I get the fans will want to show their appreciation to Cooper, but maybe they'll shout that at the beginning and they'll be shouting for Nuno at the end if you put in a performance.
That's what I'm hoping.
And the other thing is, you haven't heard him. The fans haven't heard him talk yet. He hasn't done his first interview. He's not done the press conferences. I guarantee you, when they listen to this man speak, and they listen to his press conferences, they will start to get him as a person. Yeah. But it is going to be difficult because he's going to come in and he's going to have all of that. But hopefully, he'll do a good job for Forest and the fan base. A bit like what's happened with Wolves with Gary O'Neill. Will start to, you've got to get behind your manager. The decision's been done. He's gone. Football, you can't be sentimental sometimes in football. Yeah. The owners have made a decision, and it'll be interesting to have another chat when we talk again. When Wolves, when do we play you go? Is it in March?
Mid-March, mate. Yeah, mid-March, you're coming our way. I think if I remember rightly, he's got both his ex-clubs back to back, Wolves and Spurs.
Oh, right, interesting. No. I mean, obviously there is a little bit of Midland rivalry between Wolves and Forest, which has been enhanced a little bit by Morgan and all of that sort of stuff. But there is I think genuinely it's not like it's not really nasty rivalry or anything like that.
It's not West Brom for you or Derby for us, but it's fun to have someone to poke at. You know what I mean? It's like, and I missed it because normally when we speak, I'm giving you chest and arrogance and what have you. But the last one I did for you, I couldn't bring myself to do it because I felt we were at that stage where even I haven't got the arrogance to start picking us up.
Well, we all know that everyone knows on this channel that you have got a secret affection for Wolves with your name, Wolfie, anyway, haven't you? I mean, you know, we all know that Wolves secretly, you've got underneath there, you've got a gold top on somewhere.
Well, you know what I'm wearing right now? In Cooper we trust. As respect to him, I haven't worn the t-shirt for about a year, but it's come back out just as a little pay my homage to Cooper before he goes. But for me, mate, I'm 1 million% behind Nuno. I've followed his career for quite a while. I like what he's done. I get there's this whole, I'm not a massive fan of a back five or a back three, but I like it when it's played correctly. For me, Cooper was playing it as a low block system. For me, and you know what you've told me, what I've seen of Nuno, I agree. He likes to play this as a quick, you know, counter-attacking style, get the ball moving forward, and that's all I want. I just
have you
want
got pacey forwards? Have you got people that have got a bit of speed?
Yeah,
And
Elanga,
look
Callum
to do?
Hudson-Odoi, Elanga's lightning. We've got Taiwo's obviously not fit. Obviously, we have the slowest player in the Premier League as well, and Chris Wood, but I can't see him. I can't see him fitting Nuno's style. I reckon he'll probably go with Origi maybe as a first
Jimenez
choice.
wasn't the fastest when he played for us. If he can get someone that can hold Jimenez, when he played for us, was brilliant at holding the ball up, linking the play out. He was great in the air. He
Yeah,
could finish. All he needs is someone, a striker that can have good positional sense, hold the ball up and bring the other players in and make sure he can head the ball and finish when the crosses come in. And it might turn out that Wood could be that player because you
good.
don't necessarily have to be the fastest. You just have to
Yeah.
be positionally aware and know where to be. And strikers should have that instinct, you'd think, but we'll see.
I'm excited, mate. I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to Saturday. I feel like it's been about 4 or 5 weeks since it hasn't felt like a burden to watch Forest, you know. And this is the first time I feel that fire's back in me. That's been there since, you know.
I think when the fans come to think, there will be a bit of a buzz around that. I mean, the other thing is, it is a difficult one as well to go into because Bournemouth at the moment, they're sort of like on fire. They beat United 3-0 in their last away match, so it's a difficult one to play. So, you know, in some ways, it might be a good game for him to play because it's a team that's in very, very good form, that's full of confidence, and if you get a result out of that, and you get a performance, then I think that's something that the fans can cling on to. But yeah, I mean,
when the games get easier, Dave, they get easier. After that, you know, we've only got Newcastle away, the Man U at home, then Brentford away, then Arsenal at home. Easy. I can see points flowing in right now.
Well, in some ways, that also gives Nuno a little bit of time because he has got a difficult run of fixtures to sort of mould the squad. And, you know, whatever points you get out of that, you know, isn't going to be and then hopefully you get a little bit more clear ball water. You'll probably want to do a little bit in the window with players coming in and out. And as I said, and then the summer window will be very interesting as well. But, you know, I think it's going to be, I'm looking forward to when we talk again in March, because by March you'll have had a good 3 months. It'll be interesting to see what the mood of the Forest fan base is in March, and we'll undoubtedly delve into that closer to the.
And that's when I'm hoping that he's got his feet under, because we got a little run there where we're playing some winnable games, which I see Wolves as part of that now. I didn't 2 weeks ago. So it'll be interesting to see where he is in terms of his evolution of the team and, you know, him stamping his authority. So I'm excited, mate. I really am. I'm hoping for good things for him and he can build on it.
Well, we do wish Nuno all the best at Forest, and you know, and I'm sure he'll do fine for you. And guys, please go and check out Wolfie's channel over at Forest Fan TV. I've done a nice little, a much longer interview, more in-depth interview over there, which will be up on his channel sometime today as well. And mate, thanks ever so much for coming and giving the Forest fans thought initially on the appointment.
It's been an absolute pleasure as always. Thank you for having me on. And guys watching, make sure you hit that like button on this channel and do check it out. I get Dave to nearly cry on the video.
Almost. God bless you and see you soon, mate.